Čoavdda. I'm looking for a key in a Utah hazmat field. The deer look for leaves in the same field. They look for radioactive leaves. They don't know that the leaves are radioactive. I don't know that there's no key. This is called hazing. This is called being a rookie. A pawn. The nighttime is cold, but they have only issued me a short-sleeved shirt. I'm hazmat security. I make sure no one tries to steal plutonium or uranium or other things that would melt their skin. We do not fear terrorists. To be honest with you, we fear bored teenagers. We fear bored teenagers who think no trespassing signs are solely for Christians, who think danger signs are welcome mats. We have had 6 arrests since I've been here. All of them white, teenage, bored, slightly drunk, slightly buzzed, slightly stupid kids. My coworker says that the deer are the same. Stupid. He says that we should kill all of the deer on sight. The deer all have polyneuropathy. The deer look caught in headlights even when it is pitch dark. They stumble and stare into space and could be extras in zoological zombie movies. The site where I work, I am told, does animal testing and does nuclear experimentation and houses aliens and is one of the leading centers for oncological advancement in the world. The site seems to do everything, but my boss says to me, "Look, all we do is store hazmat material." I think of that term when he is saying hazardous materials material. Even the signs here are redundant. Danger, do not enter danger, and run on sign saying biohazard area, hazmat area, restricted area. They repeat words like danger and area as if sheer repetition is all that is needed for warning. The police, by the way, rarely come here. They are wise. I had to sign a waiver saying that I am okay with X amount of radiation per year. This was 6 years ago. I have X times 6 amount of radiation at this point. We have no employees who have worked here longer than mine in years. The reason I am told is that they don't want to give raises. A coworker tells me that it's because the radiation exposure is too high after a decade. Another coworker says that after 9 years, they worry you'll find out the truth about aliens stored in the Center Hub building. There are no aliens, because aliens do not exist. Hazmat does exist. Deer who can't walk correctly anymore exist. I look at the deer. I am Saami, an indigenous people of the Arctic. My ancestors were reindeer herders. They came to the US to escape Russian and Nazi invasion, to avoid the forced sterilizations of Sweden. My girlfriend is worried I won't be able to have children because of this job. I tell her I am lucky to have a job. I tell her I am blessed to have a job. She tells me I sound like an evangelical, like a gambler, like someone brainwashed. She tells me I should get a job as security in a bank. I tell her there is no possibility. I can get shot guarding hazmat. On average, I see about 2 people per night. I see the person I relieve and I see the person who relieves me. The night, every night, is so depressingly haunted with nothing that I'm free to forget my life. I look up at the stars and think of the hydrogen in their cores, their cosmological radioactive guts, their electromagnetic astronomical stomachs. I have a growth in my intestines. The doctor tells me not to worry about it. I have pretty good health insurance. He says that if it gets too large, they will take it out. He says if it were 100 years ago, I would have something to worry about. 100 years ago, I wouldn't know I have a growth in my intestines. It'd be beautifully obvious. I look at the deer and speak to it, asking if it knows that my ancestors would have worshipped it. I tell the deer my grandfather moved to the US because he wanted to give us a new life. I wonder if my grandfather would have understood hazmat the way his grandson would search on his hands and knees in the field on the 7th day of the job, a field clearly marked with do not enter signs. I think of gastroenterology, the doctor I have been going to. Enternon is ancient Greek for intestines. He tells me all the radiation probably entered me from all the times I have eaten at work, all the times I didn't wash my hands, and I swallowed the unthinkable. He says he doesn't know for sure, that it might have happened in 1,000 other ways as well. He says anything can happen. Deer are painted on the sacred drums, have their images woven into holy blankets. The deer here chews, a leaf on its chin, its eyes frighteningly cute. My assimilated father used to tell me that God would seep into you. He said that Jesus is like an infection. For some reason, for him it was always disease metaphors with Christ. Nuns would hit my grandfather if he ever spoke Finn. He'd get beat brutally with rulers, even if he mentioned Sampi. All of the Saami languages are critically endangered. We use the same wording with language that we do with the extinction of animals. I look up. My ancestors believed the stars were the hoof prints of the great reindeer that ran across the sky. I look at the field where I crawled as a newly employed baby. The deer walks in the same path where my body went. I wonder if I am the deer.